Annie and Clarabel, Thomas's two faithful coaches, who didn't really do much in the model run. Though in the CGI run, they didn't exist. Until they did! During the classic series of Thomas the Tank Engine, there were two characters that were quite neglected in general. Granted, they didn't really do much in their books either, so I guess if anything, it's accurate. Those would be Thomas's faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabel. During the classic series, they were motherly figures to Thomas and would kinda give him advice or warn him about things. Ish. They actually didn't really talk or do anything throughout the entirety of those golden years in general. Heck, they didn't even do much in Magic Railroad. Following Magic Railroad, the role was even less diminished going forward, where they basically were only talking if they were required for an episode, and were just used as plot devices to have other engines pull them to make Thomas jealous. Annie and Clarabel became even less active during the switch to CGI, maybe only being mentioned. Heck, in season 15, they're not even mentioned in any way, just being pulled by Thomas every now and again. It was as if they just didn't exist anymore. But then, the Andrew Brenner era happened, and whoa, I wouldn't believe this. Annie and Clarabel spoke, but not only that, but they had something to do. With the start of the Brenner era in general, Annie and Clarabel honestly started becoming more integral to the series as it went on. Similar to Daisy, Andrew Brenner really had the best era with these characters overall. We finally get to see them bounce off of others in a way that had never really been done before. In Railcar and the Coaches, you could kind of see their little disdain towards Daisy, and in a way, you see a different side of them, the ones that are easy to, trick and make fun of Daisy, in a way, something Thomas himself even has to correct them for. Or you get a fun episode like Not So Slow Coaches, where after some teasing of Annie and Clarabel, Thomas kind of learns the value of his coaches overall. There's even an episode like Lost Property, where while they aren't the main focus, Annie and Clarabel do help Thomas in the sense of finding the watch for the There's just a lot more to the two coaches in the Brenner era, and while the Bubba era didn't focus on them too much, it basically kept the steam overall. I'll always appreciate that Brenner gave these characters so much to do, while the golden era of Thomas ironically didn't do much with them. But in general, I think it's fascinating to see how different eras can handle different characters overall. I was glad to honestly see that Brenner didn't just, make these characters more one note like he did a lot of the main engines, but instead gave them more to flesh them out. And honestly, that's cool in my books. Thank you all for watching, and take care.